studio album, which was just called Big Phony. So yeah, definitely Big Phony. I call him Bobby because I love him, and that's his name, Bobby. He's also Korean American. He was born in America, but he moved back to Korea because he really wanted to pursue making his music there. And that's how he got to be such good homies with No Brain. So very first person you need to check out, I don't care what you're doing. If you plan on going to listen to K-pop later, don't do that, listen to Bobby. The next group is sort of more of like a family. Their entire outfit is called Feel Good Music. The leaders of that are Tasha, Yunire, if you've ever heard of her, Yunire, Tasha. Her husband, Tiger JK, who is also a legendary rapper from Korea. He's also had success in America, so he's real known with B-boys, because he was here for a little while. And Busy is also their friend and an epic rapper from New Zealand. What do you know? All of these people are Korean and something else, because they're not. Tasha was not born in Korea. Tiger wasn't, right? Wasn't JK born in Korea? And Busy, I think, was born in Korea but moved to New Zealand. So, and then they just have an entire roster of just new people that they brought on, and one is a vocalist, and Juno Flo was a new rapper. And they're, I mean, like when they say it's a feel-good family, like people talk about the YG family, y'all know that's fake. Feel Good is an actual family, and you see it when they perform on stage. And I mean, you've got legendary people who are just fronting this family. You know, Tasha and JK are basically, you know, not the first proponents of rap and hip hop in Korea, but I mean, they're right at the cusp of being the originators of hip hop in Korea. And anything Yubin Ray touches becomes #1. So, you know, you can't go wrong with that. The next person is fairly new. I adore her though. Her name is Sleek, S-L-E-E-Q. And she is this cute little adorable thing that has so much, I mean, when you talk about bars, anybody who knows rap, any hip hop fans in here, any rap, bars. Bars, honey, bars, okay? She can eat up any male rapper in Korea right now. And she is very admittedly a feminist rapper. She says it in her raps, yeah, hell yeah, I'm a feminist, I'm a motherfucking feminist. Like, she goes hard, she goes in. And I love her for that, for her passion and for her power. So you need to check her out. Basically, bottom line, anything I say, you need to just go ahead and check out, because it's gonna be super fly. The next one is Samuel Soul, and he's an R&B singer. He's gotten a little bit more known, but he's relatively under the radar. And his last name is S-E-O, Samuel Soul. He's just fantastic and amazing and brilliant, and his voice is amazing. And of the R&B artists that I had on my list, which there was like 7, he's the one that I picked because I just love the diversity in his sound. He doesn't limit himself in terms of R&B. He pushes the boundaries mainly in terms of how he constructs his music. And then plus he's got a really nice voice. And then the next one, the last one, is also another basically huge, like a family type label. They're called Vis Major, V-I-S Major. And they're headed by Deep Flow. And Deep Flow is sort of this also legendary kind of rapper. I mean, when 2 years ago, he won Artist of the Year at the Korean Music Awards. He beat out Big Bang, he beat out all these other people because everybody knows Deep Flow. And anything that he does, you're gonna pay attention to. And everybody that's on his label has got so much power and so much, again, bars, okay? One of my favorite albums from last year was one of the artists under his label. His name is Nucksal, N-U-C-K-S-A-L, Nucksal, and it was called God of the Small Things, and that thing, it just destroyed my favorite list. Like, his album was literally in the top 10 of all of my favorite albums of last year. It was that good. So Vis Major is a label you need to pay attention to. Yeah, I want to say so many more artists, but those are the Those are the ones they picked.
Okay, pass it to Carmen. You already did great.
No, that was fine.
She had a family,
They're two
but that was
families,
fine.
it was a collective.
That was technically fine.
I followed the rules. I don't care, I followed the rules.
So mine are they've been around quite a lot, for a while at least, hopefully. So one of my favorite bands is We Are the Night. They started out actually as Rocket Diary, and so as Rocket Diary, I listened to their single album so many times. Rocket Diary, they were more pop punk, and then they went over to the military, they came back, and they experimented more in the techno sort of scene. So now they kind of rebranded as We Are the Night, so they're more techno now, they're less pop, they're less punky. But if you have a chance to find the Rocket Diary album, I highly recommend. And then another artist is Lucy Toki. They're a female duo. They're currently based in New York, actually. So they do shows in New York. I think they did one last month. They're a fun group. I'm not very good at classifying music. I guess they're also kind of techno-ish, pop-ish, possibly. It's hard to tell, but check them out. Lucy Toki, Lucite, and then Tokki. So they're a duo and currently based in New York. And then my third group is Barberettes. They're a female-fronted rock kind of group. They were gone for a while. They had like a 7-year break before their third album last year. But they're still around, which is exciting. Yes, I highly recommend them too. Their spelling is Biuret.
The lead singer is so sexy.
Yes, that is true. That is true. She is very sexy. So my fourth band, they kind of already disbanded, which makes me sad. But their first 2 albums were also like one of my highly played albums. They're Rumblefish. So their first album was more kind of jazzy, swingy. I'm not sure. They're a little hard to categorize. Their second album, they're like lots of fun. They got a little more into, they sounded a little more pop in their later releases, but also like the vocalist, her voice is amazing, and I love her voice, so I highly recommend them too. And then I guess my last band, Mot, M-O-T, which is the Korean word for pond. He's not very easy to categorize. He still has releases as well. He's still kind of active. I don't remember when his last release was, but first 2 albums, highly recommend. Yeah, those are my 5 picks.
Shinae, who would you recommend?
Wow. I learned so much from you guys now. Well, I just looked at my CD shelf, and I just found my lifetime favorite album. And they're not in band anymore, and they're not the band anymore because they disbanded a long time ago. It's Roller Coasters Absolute. It was released in 2002. And the lead singer is my muse, Jo Won-sun. She writes all these songs, and she is like the only female Korean indie female singer-songwriter that I could almost look up to. And that album is my favorite Korean album of all time. Roller Coasters Absolute. Please check out. Carmen, I heard some of the female singer-songwriters that you love. And let me tell you, my favorite female singer-songwriter, after Jo Won-sun, is my best friend, Son Jung-ha. She produces and she writes every songs that she releases, and she now writes major K-pop. She writes for major K-pop artists, including the latest song of one of for the latest album of IU, and also Lee Hedy, and she wrote some of the hits for 21 in the past. And but her album, man, is amazing, and it's very diverse, and she has so much ability in music that she can do. And she's my role model. She's been my role model for many years now. We went to high school together. Yeah, please check out Sona Jung. She won the Musician of the Year in 2015 at the Korean Music Award. Now we have a union of female singer-songwriters called the Days of Wine and Roses. We get together. It's 5 different female musicians, and we get together occasionally, like once or twice a year, and we have a big show. And the next musician that I'm gonna talk about is one of the members of the Wine and Roses. Her name is Lee Tae-ka. Please check out Lee Tae-ka. She is a crazy monster musician. She's known as a violin, the singer-songwriter that plays violin, and she plays violin in really cool ways. Like she sings with it and stuff. And her musical spectrum is so wide. Like I can't put her music in one genre. It's indie, classical, jazz, folk, R&B, you name it. Her music has all. And she was studying music in Boston for many years, and she got back to Korea a couple of years ago. And she only started singing after she got back to Korea. And she is one of the most phenomenal singers I've ever seen, and I feel so blessed to get to play with her sometime. And we love each other so much. And the other artist that I would like to introduce to you is another female musician, and she just recently had her album out. And she is well known as a beat maker in the K-pop scene, and she writes beats for many K-pop idol groups and stuff. And her name is Sowall, Sowall, and she posts really cool videos that she plays with the MPC, which is like a drum machine, on Instagram. So check that out. And the next musician is another my best friend is Ha Hunjin. He's a blues musician. He's in a duo called Kim Ganji and Ha Hunjin. The Kim Ganji is the drummer of the band Sultan of the Disco, and Hunjin plays guitar and sings, and they are one of the male duos that was mostly loved by indie fan ladies in Hongdae. They're funny. And their music is very unique and very special. I think I named 5.
You did. Thank you.
So,
So we're running short on time. We have about 8 minutes left, so I'm going to open it up to questions from the audience.
okay.
Does anyone have any questions for any of the panelists?
This question is for Shinae. Shinae, sorry. What made you decide to, with your group, what made you decide to choose the particular genre? I mean, because you are doing sort of 50s, 60s doo-wop singing, which I do love. I think that's amazing. But what sort of made you go in that direction to kind of decide, yeah, this is what I'm going to play, this is what I'm going to perform?
Yeah. I've been always a little bit of old soul. Since I was young, I loved watching classic movies, loved listening to old music. And then I discovered this app called Seongsa. Now we can't use Seongsa in Korea because Korean streaming sites block them. Sonzai was an application that if you choose a category, they just play your music endlessly in that category. And I figured about 1950 classic girl group, and I put that on. And then I loved every music that came out of that category, and I listened to Mr. Sandman by the Chorus. Like, I want to sing that, I want to get singers to sing that cover, and I want to do it. So I called a few of the singers I knew, and then I formed Barberettes, and here we are.
Any other questions? Nobody?
I have many stories to tell you.
Okay. So I'll ask a question.
Okay.
Shinae, can you compare like the music scene in Korea to what you've seen of the music scene here to give the audience a little bit of an idea of what it's like, say, to play in Hongdae?
Well, I would say the indie music history is way shorter than North Americans, and there aren't many clubs that you can go listen to live music. What I figured that in North America, like any cities that you go, even a small town, they have somewhere plays live music, right? But here in Korea, it's only Hongdae pretty much. Some of the big cities have little live music club stuff, but it's not popular. So it's mainly Hongdae, and even in Hongdae, it's really hard to find that a club that exists or sustained for a long time, because many places have been gentrified. So yes, so it's quite hard, but right now many institutions are going mainstream. They call themselves indies, but they are collaborating with many like mainstream artists, such as Hyungo. Hyungo is a very good case. So when you make it to when you break into mainstream, it's you can get so many chances with music. So I would say, I don't know, it's not as many musicians in different places, but in one place you have chances to make it big, I would say, if you have your thing.
Okay.
This is a musician's perspective, not the fan's perspective.
Thank you.
Yes. You're welcome.
One last call for questions. Anyone else have any questions for any of the panelists? No? Okay, so our time is almost up, so I'd like to thank our panelists. Thank you so much for Skyping in, Shinae. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
And we're going to say goodbye. Thank